Hey, welcome in. It is a March 14th, 13th, 14th edition of the Lowdown presented by Layman's Hardware and Old Time General Store. I'm Bruce Hooley. Glad to have you with us. Hope you didn't miss the Monday Huddle last night. We had a special guest, Mr. Jeff Gilbert, PressProsMagazine.com's new Ohio State writer and an expert, at least more than me and more than Sonny Folks, on a couple of Dayton teams that are playing in the state boys basketball tournament this week, including one that will kick it off on Friday, 10:45, Chaminade-Julienne with the Washington brothers, not just George Washington, but his brother, who also plays with him in the backcourt. Chaminade wins the regional over Kettering-Alter, and Chaminade will start it off. I got the list right here. Chaminade against Lutheran West on Friday, 10:45 is your first game. It'll be followed by the number one team in the state, Bishop Ready, out of Columbus, going up against Akron-Buchtel. And then on Thursday, I think it's 2-4. Yeah, it goes 2-4, 3-1 in order of play. So the Division 4 games on Thursday night, Berlin Highland will take on Convoy Crestview. And I know it really hurts for me to say Convoy Crestview because Marion Local had that game won. And in my opinion, was the victim of some controversial officiating at the end of its game with Convoy Crestview. But former Ohio State Buckeye Doug Etzler is the head coach at Convoy Crestview. His son is the point guard for Crestview. They'll be taking on Highland, whose girls lost last week to Tri-Village. And no, I didn't forget you Tri-Village girls. We'll get to you in a second. And then the second game of Thursday night, the 8:30 tip-off. Richmond Heights, defending champ, overwhelming favorite, taking on Russia. Russia beat Jackson Center in an epic Shelby County League showdown in the regional final at Trent Arena, 27-25. Shot rides off the rim at the end, or it would be Jackson Center and Scott Elkert representing, but it is Russia, Spencer Cordonier. And of course, if you can't take Russia deep to your heart, given how hard those young men have played and how well they have testified with their hard, competitive attitude this season, to the legacy of Dave Borchers, well, then you're like the Grinch of basketball. You have a heart that's 10 sizes too small. So hopefully they can get it done against Richmond Heights. It's a tall order, literally and figuratively, because Richmond Heights has a couple 6'6" guys and a 6'5" guy across the front line. But I was really impressed with Russia in the way they played defense last week. I know Jackson Center always plays great defense, but I thought Russia won the regional because of the defense that it played against Troy Christian and against Jackson Center. So we'll see if they can make Richmond Heights uncomfortable, extend that game to meaningful possessions. Richmond Heights hasn't played a lot of meaningful possessions this year. It'll be interesting, but it's a tall order, and I'll tell you the one. Well, here's one thing you need to remember. Nothing that happens at the state tournament this weekend regarding the Russia Raiders can subtract one bit from the way that they have honorably, courageously, and inspirationally lived up to the lessons that Dave Borchers ingrained in them as their head coach. It has been an amazing run to watch. It is so hard to set a goal to get to the state tournament in tribute to someone, and to actually do it is really amazing. And let me just say, too, nothing about the way Jackson Center lost to Russia should, and in my opinion, will detract at all from the way those 7 seniors at Jackson Center played this year in Scott Elkert's final year. That is one of the weirdest inner feelings I've ever had covering a game, and I've been doing this quite a while. I've never gone into a game knowing that whoever wins the game will have such an inspirational story to tell, and also knowing that whoever loses the game will just be, for me personally, difficult to treat fairly in how you talk about what they accomplished during the year. Because had Russia lost the game, it would have been the same dilemma that Jackson Center felt, in that they wanted so much more, but they had already done so much. So this is the beauty and the pain of a true community, not one where players drive in from 30 miles away and, are a super team cobbled together from the AAU ranks. meant to usurp OHSAA rules without calling attention to it, so you actually get caught. The teams at Russia and Jackson Center are true small town community teams, and that's what Ohio high school sports is meant to be. In many cases, it is not, and you'll see that in some of the upper divisions, and you'll see it at certain schools in Division IV, but you do not see it at Russia and Jackson Center. Okay, so we get to Saturday's semifinals, and we're going to start on Saturday with Division III. Ottawa Glandorf and Afrocentric plays the first game. It's a rematch of last year. Colin White, Ottawa Glandorf against Dalen Swain of Afrocentric, and Harvest Prep against Lutheran East. And then the game everybody's waiting for, a rematch of last year's state title game, 5-15, Division I semifinal. Defending champion Pick Central against the 2021 state champion Centerville. Devon Royal, Ohio State, Gabe Cups, Indiana. It's got every bit of intrigue you would want. The place will be packed. It'll be a phenomenal game. Pick Central and Centerville. And then after that will be the, oh, by the way, Division I semifinal between Hoban and Toledo St. John's. And the winner, whoever it is, between Centerville and Pick Central, and Centerville won their regular season game at Nationwide Arena, I believe in overtime. You got to watch out on Sunday night at 8:30 for that championship game, because if you think that the championship game is Saturday night, it isn't. The championship game is Sunday night, and Pick Central and Centerville, whichever team survives that, will have to remember it. Okay, in closing, shout out to Tri-Village. I hope you guys are still on Cloud 9. I hope you stay on Cloud 9 for a long time. What an inspirational story to watch Tri-Village start the season #1, run the table, 30 wins, come up big in the regional final against Fort Loramie in a very hard-fought game, triumph in the state semifinals against Berlin Highland, and then